What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. In today's video, we have a CPI surprise that is sending the Dow Jones northward by 200 points, along with the QQQ and the S&P 500 tacking on 1%. Our ETFs that we hold long-term are absolutely en fuego. However, we once again see MULN and MCOM at an all-time low. And is it really true that MCOM is not only refusing to pay employees in Europe, but they actually diluted the stock by more than 81% yesterday alone? All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. I want to start off with a couple of minutes of very, very, very good news before we once again revisit the hellhole known as MULN and MCOM. Bottom line, the Fed is not going to raise interest rates tomorrow. In fact, because the CPI was a tenth cooler than expected, but in fact, we have a problem with deflation. As I've been saying now for 7 or 8 months, when I correctly called the bottom in the Qs in the S&P 500 between last October and December. In fact, I told you to buy Tesla at 105 and Meta at 88, and you could have doubled or even tripled your money. We have a deflationary problem. The Fed is about to be out of the way for the next 3 to 5 years. We are going to, in fact, get more QE, quantitative easing, in the next 6 to 9 months in order to save the commercial real estate market. Mark my words, ladies and gentlemen. AI, the productivity gains, and the fact that stocks, for the most part, are your only alternative over the next several years as we have a dovish Fed. This stock market that I've told you to buy and hold for 50 to 80% of your money and trade with me northward almost 700% in the last 15 months is going a hell of a lot fucking higher in the next few years. We are going to make an absolute fortune. So follow me on Twitter. And make sure you get yourself a profile if you have a small business or a side hustle at trysmallbiz.com. And by the way, we have 3 or 4 openings. Everyone that leaves, someone comes in. So we're somewhere between 295 and our maximum limit of 300. We're going to launch the Facebook group for business next week. And hopefully before the 4th of July break, the Discord for all you stockaholics. We're going to come together as a group, not only on Twitter and YouTube, but on Facebook and inside a Discord. And if we find another avenue that's better than either one of those two, so be it. It's going to be an online as well as an offline experience. We're going to cruise. We're going to roll dice in Vegas. 300 of you, $2 a day. Try smallbiz.com. Get a premium membership. All right, folks, look. The market is way overbought. They're piling into the 7 stocks, right? Meta, Tesla, Nvidia, etc. Well, that trade is way overblown. We're outside of the Bollinger Bands. We're way overbought on the RSI, Relative Strength Index. Other two that I follow are stochastics and MACD, but we're starting to see the IWM melt up, getting close to that magical number of 190, which means the small and the micro cap stocks that we trade are about to, in my opinion, go into a 6 to 12 month catch-up phase. So the difficulty that we have had in stocks like MULN and MCOM, and if you take those two out, we're actually up close to 750% in the last 15 months. In fact, we not only took a 27% gain again this morning in CRKN, that is, wait for it, 322% gains booked in the last 2 months. 8 winners. Last one this morning, CRKN. In fact, I just bought half of it back at $16.50. I'm sitting at 16 and small change to buy the rest. $16.80. MULN, another all-time low. Tried to rally, didn't it? Tried to get up to 36. It's back to 33.9. And MCOM at 206. Let's call it all-time lows in both cases. But you buy and hold 50 to 80% of your portfolio in SPY, QQQ, IWM, ARC that I told you to buy at 35 is up 27%, trading at north of 44. You're going to be absolutely fine because we are going to get through and eventually out of MULN and MCOM, which brings me to those two absolute pigs that, in my opinion, are run by a couple of thugs that have absolutely no adherence to maintaining or enhancing shareholder value. We got a lot of haters on this page, believe it or not, that said some nasty things about me last night. For starters, they claim I don't know how to read an SEC filing. They claim that I'm actually short the stock, and I commented on there, I'm on E-Trade. You can't short a stock below $1 a share, and that's the case at most brokerage firms. So when you go into these sites like Reddit or StockTwits, and you see these fucking morons that claim they're short MULN or MCOM or any other penny stock, 99.9% of them are lying through their teeth. You can't do that at most brokerage firms. Who is doing it? The dark pools, the institutions. Savvy got slapped, 2.4 million I saw. You know how much they probably made? 200 million. So at least they're starting to go after the naked short sellers, which could only help us in the end. But as I've been saying now for weeks, when I started by telling you don't buy any more MULN at 118. I made the mistake of getting a sliver more to bring down my average at 60 cents. I should have stayed completely out of the way because 118 all the way down to 33 and small change, another all-time low, is what? A 70 or 80% drop that I could have at least helped most of you stay out of? And the same thing applies with MCOM. I did get caught in buying some at 50 cents a few weeks ago, but I was out in full force yesterday amidst all the haters telling you do not buy into this rally, this massive pump and dump of over 120 times normal daily volume to 55 cents and change, because we learned, according to the filings, as many of you now understand, that Salvatore Palella, the most corrupt, inept, tone-deaf, incapable CEO, the worst of its kind in NASDAQ history, increased the entire outstanding float by 81.3% in one day. In one day, between Friday and yesterday's close, he added close to 13 million shares, and I can almost fucking guarantee with the stock down another 25% today that he's in there trying to get towards the maximum allowed amount that he can sell in terms of diluting the stock. And if you didn't see me on Twitter, Blue check, 11,300 followers. Thank you very much. We hear from Italy, Hellbiz Kitchen Italy, and he's yet to refute this, that he stopped paying his employees 2 months ago. So Sal, we now know that you increased the float yesterday by 81.3%. We now hear that you're not paying, that's number 2, you're not paying your European employees. We also saw this afternoon or this morning, ladies and gentlemen, he comes out and says, once again, well, we're going to cut back on non-profitable entities and locations. In other words, the whole rideshare model in various parts of the United States and Europe is completely falling apart, which explains why he's flailing from rideshare to retail. How are you going to produce the bikes? You still haven't explained that, the $5 fucking pre-orders. By the way, where is the digital coupon? I could talk for days, right? Where's the digital coupon that you promised people 2 months ago? You got employees that you're not paying. You got coupons that you're not honoring. You just diluted the float by 81.3%. You're probably adding that to, I don't know, let's call it 120% dilution in the last 72 hours. And what the fuck, as I said yesterday about those Dixie Cup hats? Can we get any of those? How much are those? Can we get a discount? You won't give us a coupon code. We hear that you're not paying employees. Can we at least get a Dixie cup? You know, something like this to put on the top of her head in case some crazy driver tries to run her ass over on your 1,600, actually worth $16 scooters and e-bikes, you lazy, worthless piece of shit. So the obvious question, ladies and gentlemen, now that I've established that I do in fact know what I'm talking about, and I tried to warn you in both cases of MULN and MCOM not to load any more stock for the most part other than one tiny little buy I did, we are dealing with massive dilution. I still have not gotten an answer why 3 insiders at MULN filed to sell 242 million shares. The stock since that announcement about 10 days ago is down after today almost 40%. Ask yourself, all you MULNaniacs, some of which like to dump your garbage on my fucking YouTube page, why are these insiders the biggest they have? Filing to sell 250 million shares at all-time lows? Why did Acuitas throw them $20 million 2 weeks ago instead of honoring the Series D preferred? Answer, as it was pointed out in the article yesterday, nobody wants to hold the convertible preferred anymore. It's a sinking ship. And I stand by what I said yesterday, that we have a 50% chance in both cases of MULN and MCOM that it's an absolute scam. It has taken MULN almost 10 years to deliver a vehicle and get someone to pay for it. And they failed. And yes, they have upwards of $1 billion and more split adjusted of dilution that's on the way or in the process of hitting the market right now. And I hear that Lion Larry is out there telling people not only has he got Biden on the bat phone, not only did he have $400 million worth of offers of people in the U.S. and in the Middle East that want to take his cheap ass public. And by the way, camping. That was your profile pic a couple of days ago. You would think if you had $400 million on the line, or the Saudis that were going to give you $10 billion, and you supposedly got off the phone a few hours ago with 22, not 18, not 25, 22 different institutions and contacts that just want to throw money at Lion Larry. You would think if that was the case, you wouldn't be off in some camper somewhere, throwing a rod and reel and sucking on a fucking Budweiser, a Bud Light actually, with your Gucci fanny pack. Those three guys, David, Lion Larry, and Salvatore, as far as I'm concerned at this point, and perhaps many of you will agree with the stocks down 99.9% and continuing to sink into the abyss, they all belong in jail. I know at least one of them's been there. Another one, David, is associated, and there's plenty of information out there on that, in the 5 stocks or companies that he's run into the ground, that he's got associations or has had previous association with those that have been convicted of securities fraud. So why don't we just all get them all in one cell together? Lion Larry, David, and Salvatore, and maybe Sal can serenade him to sleep, right? Remember, he's from Sicily. I still think he owns gondolas. That's the only reason why he's able to pay his bills in addition to this massive dilution. So can't you just picture, in closing, ladies and gentlemen, you got Lion Larry eating a Twinkie. You got David giving you the peace sign, kind of like he does from his car, or maybe it's the Learjet, the $18 million he wasted with your money. And you've got Salvatore. When the moon hits the stars like a big pizza pie, that's amore. We somehow got sent to the slammer for ripping people off, that's amore. Yeah, I realize the words are not there, but I hope I got a laugh out of at least one or two of you. And until next time, as I keep telling you, I'm looking out for your best interest. I love each and every single one of you, including the haters. And until next time, thanks for watching. Needs more cowbell?